part.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
As she teaches
Well, there
us
you
how
go.
to
You've got
make
your
paper.
introduction here, isn't
There
it?
you go.
So now we are actually going to get a little demonstration on making paper from waste paper, stuff like that, with Annemieke from Greens and Grain. So I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Right, I see I have actually forgotten to grab my bag. So 1 second. Where's my black bag with paper? Right.
That's proper stage fright.
This.
Like I forgot my weapon. That's the
Right.
most important ingredient.
The most important ingredients. Right. Okay, so we have plenty of paper.
And this can be any type of paper, or
any
'cause
type
it looks
of-
like you've got printer paper here. Could you use newspaper?
You can use newspaper. The only thing is that if it is paper which has been printed really glossy, then it'll take a lot more time to go soft. But it is nice to have those pieces in there, because then you get a finished product that has got a bit of color in it. Your newspapers will go like a sort of gray, darker gray color, whereas this is a lighter gray color. So yeah, this is from an office that has shredded its paper. Yesterday evening I put it in warm water, and then it basically
Almost
goes
like mush,
more or
yeah.
less to pulp. I tried my stick blenders on it. I managed to make both of them stop working, so it's not as fine as I wanted it, and I couldn't find quickly this morning another one to do it with, so it's a bit rougher than I would like it to be. But anyway, so it's just water and paper, nothing else.
And cold water, if you just put it in cold water, the effect is...
It'll do a little bit slower, so that's why I usually start off with warm, but now it's cold.
Yeah. But I can do it and leave it for a week, right?
Yeah, well, it does start smelling. It starts a bit funny.
That's just scented
Right.
paper at that stage.
Then because I wanted to sort of, this was the kind of boxes that I could find, so I made a frame that could fit in that box. And first of all, I tried it out with just a chicken mesh over the top. Well, that rusts and is done within no time. So you need a good sturdy frame. And then in my case, what I did is I made the shape. This is basically the shape of the paper. So I get a rectangular shape. So it is this top bit that would determine whatever the shape is that you want. But this was the simplest way to do it, and I thought, well, I did it for kids activity, then you have a card and the kids could make something nice out of the card. So to start off with, I have now this bottom one floating like this in the water. And then I take a cloth which can get the water go through, which is going to go over the top, and you want to try and not have air bubbles if you can, because that makes it harder to put the paper over the top.
And I'm guessing you're doing that to stop the paper falling through the extra mat.
Yeah, this is my layer on which I make the paper. So basically it looks like this. Okay.
And could you use, instead of the cloth, could you use something like gauze, window gauze?
Well, your pulp, if it is very fine, it might go through. So you want something that catches it somehow. I did. First of all, I tried this stuff, your mutton cloth, which is thicker. It'll give you a bit of a pattern as a result. So if you want something like that, that's fine. So depending on what you use as your under story, you get some, yeah. Right, so now I want a mix of this stuff. Could you put me a bit more water in here?
Sure.
Because this is too thick. Because you want it actually a thin,
You want it to flow
very,
nicely.
very thin. Otherwise I get carton this thick. So
Tell me how much
just
I need to
put
add.
more, quite a bit more. Because you really want this paper now to float in the water. Right, let's try this. So you mix it nicely. Oh, hang on, I forgot my,
Yes.
sorry, my frame.
Sure.
The frame goes first because now I need, this is where my shape is. And then, see, now you get to have to do that carefully so that you don't get air bubbles. Because that makes your cloth sit in a funny angle. Like this is what you don't want. Right. No, this one is not really helping me.
Cooperating.
No, not really.
Look,
Anyway.
Can you pour water to get rid of the air bubbles?
We'll try. No.
Wow, that's
It has properly closed itself.
Oh, look at that expert.
Right. Well, sort of.
Less, yeah. Fewer
It is
bubbles.
definitely fewer bubbles. And then you go and try and pour this in as evenly as you can. And this will definitely be a little bit more of a rougher paper. And you still want to try and not make it too thick.
Would you recommend if I had to blend it?
Yeah, you need to blend it with a stick, but like I said, I broke both of them yesterday evening, which were the old stick blenders that I had. They were already a bit old and weary, but then they did not want to continue yesterday evening. So this morning I went to Pinnacle hoping to find one there, but I failed.
Would like one of those kind of paint mixers that you attach to a drill, would that work as well?
Yeah, well, you need to have something to make it smaller. So you do need to have something that has a bit of a cutting edge to it to make it into pulp. So those stick blenders work really well. It's just that mine was a bit old and weary and had started already making funny noises. So
Blenders that last. No, they all
no, so
very frustrating. At
anyway,
least you can use them for paper making once they stop chopping.
your vegetables, yes. So I've not managed to do it completely nicely equal. You can see it's a bit bumpy. Now I need my, where is my,
I guess is if your paper shredder shreds your paper. I found in my mother's storeroom boxes, like about 30 of them, of magazines or pages she had pulled out of magazines dating back to 1966.
There you go.
And I'm
Lots of
busy
paper to
shredding.
shred.
Busy shredding.
yeah.
I do a little pile every night.
So now this is basically where your paper is going to be. Now I want to press out as much water as I can. So I cover it with another cloth. And then I have my little sponge. So now you try and at this stage actually, if you wanted to decorate it with something, you would do that here.
Yeah.
Here is when you would put your little flower petals or whatever you want, and then so that you press that into your paper.
What happens if you were to take a rolling pin and just kind of roll over the top of it?
Yeah, that could also work, but I'm not sure because this metal is still a little bit wobbly. So pressing it with a sponge just means that any funny contour can be and I was also just looking at cheap things that I could use with the kids. That was things that they could handle easily.
Ooh, you get in some of the Chinese shops, you get rolling pins that have patterns and stuff on them for making, like for putting impressions into cookies and things like that.
Yeah.
That might transfer through your paper a little bit.
Yeah, possibly. So that's the next layer. Now you've at least pressed as much out of it as possible. And then like this, I hang it to dry on my wash rack.
Okay.
And then when it is dry, you can peel it off.
And you just hang it on it.
I just hang it.
Or whatever.
Flat
And if you
or
want
vertical, sorry.
No, I can hang it. You can hang it like this.
Okay.
I hang it here with 2 clothespins.
Is this open or?
No, you can open it up.
Sorry. Defeated by a clothespin bag.
Yeah. And then you leave it like that, and on a day like this, it'll dry quite quickly.
Now, if you pulled that up and positioned it over that thing,
Yeah, then you would.
so then you could get a card when it comes.
It would be, yeah, but you need to be quite careful because it has got nothing in it,
Yeah.
so there is no real stickiness there, so it can also quite easily break.
So you'd almost have to add strings or something to the center of it before
To-
then doing that, presumably.
Yeah, to
when you
take
press
it
out the water, just before you do that, then you can...
I think
Yeah.
it would be easier to do it when it's dry. I think it would hold.
So this is, yeah, little examples of paper. Kids having fun.
That's nice there. You've got the
Pattern of the-
texture of the.
Yeah, you have the texture of the metal in it. And then what I usually do is I collect all these little bits of recycling, the bits and pieces that you would otherwise throw away, and they can be used for making cards.
My mother, I was just saying, my mother's Zambia's original recycler. She's been recycling everything for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And she even like quality sweets, she keeps those things.
Yeah, perfect. So that's it, yeah. Well, and here we sort of used a sieve and some paint
This thing.
and a shape, so that the shape is clear and the rest gets the.
Save space.
So it's all these things that you could do to keep kids happy when the adults are busy somewhere else.
Not exactly watching rugby or something.
Yeah. So,
Very cool.
but yeah, my paper is a little bit thick, but I've got 5 sets. So guys, you can try it out here yourself now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Watching. My expert. Let's see. Yeah, I see the bubbles.
On Facebook.